Yo, what is going on? Welcome into the program. You already know what this is. This is Sentell. This is the best damn sports podcast, period. The undisputed champion of sports podcast. We're live right here on YouTube. I am your host, the sensational Sentell Wiseman, aka Mr. No Days Off, aka the One Man Dynasty. And we have one hell of a show for you this evening. Gonna talk a little NFL action. I got two guests waiting to join me in just a minute, but we're gonna get into some things that are happening right now in the world of sports at this very moment. Right now, things that are happening currently. Let's talk about them right now. Okay, obviously we need to start with this. The big news over the weekend: Trey Lance getting traded to the Dallas Cowboys for a 4th-round pick. That ain't the story. Obviously, the story is where did it go wrong and how did it go wrong. And I posted a video. I said what I had to say. I could have a whole hour show about how upset and pissed off I am about this whole Trey Lance situation, about the way John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan handled the whole situation. You trade a boatload of 1st-round picks for a guy. He plays 4 games. 4 games now. 4 games and you're done with him. Now, not to mention that last year, coming to the season, he was the unquestioned starter of the team last year heading to training camp. He gets injured after the 2nd game of the season. This year, he's the 3rd-string quarterback. So tell me how quickly did you lose faith in Trey Lance? What happened during that time other than Brock Purdy playing pretty well? And I get that. I'm not saying Brock Purdy didn't earn the starting job, and he's probably better than Trey. I'm not knocking that. I'm knocking the fact that you traded all those assets for a guy to play 4 games. He was the unquestioned starter last year. Unquestioned, he was going to start for you last year. You locked Jimmy G out of the building, told him to go away. That's how comfortable you were with Trey Lance. And a year later, you have him at 3rd-string quarterback behind Sam Darnold. So I'm more pissed off at John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan the way they handled this thing. We had the 12th pick in the draft. You traded up all those assets for a guy who's no longer on the team. You gave away a lot of the future assets. That draft was deep as hell. And we could have had a lot of players that could have helped this roster right now. Even though we're in a win mode type of program right now, but you could have did a whole lot of things that could have helped us right now. So I'm gonna leave it at that because if I keep going, I'm just pissed off about it. The more I think about it, I'm pissed off about it. But I think Brock Purdy's gonna do good, gonna do very well. He has a team around him that should help him elevate his game as well. Joe Burrow is practicing again. He got hurt early in training camp. He's back on the practice field. Should be ready to go week 1 of the NFL season, which is only 8 days away, and we'll get more into that later. Utah quarterback Cam Rising looks like he's not going to play tomorrow night against Florida in the season opener. I don't think this is a surprise to many people. The guy tore his ACL in January, I believe. That's 8 months. He hasn't really been doing anything of note physically, so I didn't see him playing at all. The Dolphins will not give Tua Tagovailoa an extension this season. They're gonna wait till after the season. I think that's a smart move. I've never been a Tua guy, but it would seem like you want to see him get through a whole season healthy before you get him a boatload of money. Because right now the quarterbacks are getting a whole lot of money right now, so you definitely don't want to be giving him a bunch of money. So with that being said, again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in out there watching Sentell. You know what it is. Let's kind of get into the show. Let me get my guest on. I got my man Buck Thomas who's going to be on with me. He's been on the show several times. Very bright, very smart guy. Gonna get him in here in just a second. Let me get him in here. Um, Let him talk to you. All right, let me get him in here. Just give me a second. Bear with me, man. Hey, bear with me, man. I gotta just that's a lot of things going on at one time. I gotta get you right. Let me get you right. Let me get Buck in here so he can get some of his his opinion. He's a very opinionated brother. There he is right there, Buck Thomas. Ladies and gentlemen, is in the building again. He's a Sentell's Intel regular. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, sir. It's great to be here again on Sentell's Intel, so I can break everything down and give you a little bit of knowledge to go forward. But it's great to be here again, and it's football season, so let's get ready and to talk a little bit of football. That great NFL thing going down from the beast in the East, which will be the NFC East this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Obviously, when you talk about the
So
NFL, you know,
I'm ready. So uh, you're definitely right about Lance, and I just want to say that Jerry Jones robbed San Francisco with no gun and in a wheelchair because a lot of people want to make the thing about, hey, Dak better get right. Nah, people don't realize now with the NFL change, with the three quarterbacks you can have during game day, but you can't bring in the third quarterback unless two quarterback get hurt. So I think that was a great pickup. And then the guy's only 23 years old. And one thing about the Cowboys, a lot of people always give me grief. Hey, you haven't won anything since '96. Well, we haven't lost that much either because we haven't had a first round pick at quarterback because we have never been that high to pick one since the last time we won a Super Bowl. So to me, it's so like we're getting a first round quarterback that will be able to sit back and you know, you can say what you want to say about Dak, football player, but as a person and somebody to learn, I think he's in a good position to learn. And for at least 2 years, I think Dak got 2 more years to try to pull something off. And with the Cooper Rush contract, he'll be out of there in another couple of years. So I think it was a smart move by Jerry Jones. And from a perspective, football perspective, as a business perspective, because Dak's uh, Dak's agent is very, very screwed, and he makes sure that Dak get his money. So Jerry got a little bit of leverage now over Dak, and he's got a young guy that's it's a dual threat quarterback, and I think that's one thing a lot of people don't see that he's a big dual threat quarterback, and he really will help us out in practice because we go against Philly dual threat quarterback and Jalen Hurts, and also my man in New York, Jones. And people don't realize it. He's mobile too, so he'll definitely help us out in practice.
well, I mean, I'm happy. I just
You
hate the fact that
frozen.
how yeah, I just hate
You
the
really
fact
mad
how they
about we
treat
got
how they treat him.
Lance.
Yeah, I'm just more upset about the whole process. I'm not streaming beating the drum like he was the greatest quarterback ever. But when you draft the quarterback that high and you're willing to give up him after four starts, something is amiss to me. What
Cause you
happened
still there.
between last year and this year to make that guy sour so quickly on the third overall pick? That's where I'm losing. That's where they losing me at. You can answer that. Or not? You still there? Okay, I think I might have lost him. Might get back in here, but yeah, we're talking about Trey Lance and the 49ers. I'm just pissed off. I don't care where he went to after that. It's irrelevant to me. You know, when you go to the Cowboys, I don't care anymore. I care less. You going to the Cowboys, I care less where he goes to. I don't hope he never be successful ever. But I'm just upset that we gave up on him so quickly. I'm upset that we didn't get him a chance. He didn't fail San Francisco. The San Francisco organization failed him. Period. End of story. But you know, we talk about the NFL. We're gonna talk about the NFL today. So when you talk about the NFL, Matthew Harper says, "Fly Eagles, fly." Of course, big Eagles fan. We gotta talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. We got to start and end with the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, it's Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid. We already know what it is. The two-time champions. Pat Mahomes, two-time champion, two-time league MVP. They've been to the AFC Championship game every year he's been in the league. They've been to 3 Super Bowls already. This guy is Superman. He is they call him the Michael Jordan of the NFL. And I'm hard pressed to figure out how else to describe this man. I mean, there's nothing else to say about Pat Mahomes. We all thought that they lost Tyreek Hill, that he was gonna fall off. What were they gonna do without Tyreek Hill? They can't spread the field no more. They can't throw the deep ball because they don't have their secret weapon over the top. And lo and behold, he still won a Super Bowl. I mean, he's special. He's special as they come. He's just one of the best to ever do it. I think I got Buck back. Buck, you there? You there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been talking for the last 5 minutes. Now I'm back.
Okay, I got Buck back. I don't know what's going on. This is what happened when you do live. This is what happened when you do live TV. I mean, this is what you get. But I was speaking about. We'll go back a little bit and then we're gonna go forward and get into the show. But I was just speaking on how upset I was at the process of the 49ers. Like I said, the 49ers failed Trey Lance. Trey Lance didn't fail the 49ers. You don't give up on a guy with 4 starts that you had penciled as your starter last year. Please tell something happened that we don't know about. You can retort. Yeah, you still there? Yeah, I'm not getting.
Like I told you, man, Jerry Jones got on that.
Yeah, we having a little difficulty with him too as well. I'm supposed to have 2 guests on
I'm still
right
here,
now.
cuz. Can you hear me? You're frozen.
Yeah, you're barely coming through right now. I'm not really getting you. You're not coming through clearly and consistently. Kind of breaking up. Yeah. Why he gets that work done? Like I say, we're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. Who can dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs? Who's out there can take the title, the reign from Pat Mahomes and the crew? A lot of valuable options in the AFC. Obviously, it's a great quarterback conference. I mean, you look at the AFC East. There's Josh Allen. I'm not a Tua fan, but now you add the great Aaron Bleeping Rodgers to the Jets. You look at the AFC North. That's Joe Burrow. That's Deshaun Watson. Um, keep going. Then you look at the AFC South now. Trevor Lawrence. I love the Prince. You look at the AFC West. Obviously, you got Justin Herbert. Maybe Russell Wilson can revert back to what he was, but the AFC is absolutely stacked, loaded at quarterback. So those are some of those contenders in the AFC who have a chance to try to take the throne from Pat Mahomes. I look at the NFC, and it looks like a 3-team conference right now. Dallas, Philly, San Fran look like the 3 best teams in the conference. Not a whole lot of household name quarterbacks in the NFC right now. You're looking at Jalen Hurts and Dak Prescott, probably the best 2 quarterbacks in the NFC. Then you're looking at a whole bunch of guys at the NFC. You're looking at Kirk Cousins and a Geno Smith. And after that, I mean, you looking at the NFC now. New guys, you got Jordan Love taking over the ham at Green Bay. Justin Fields is a young quarterback in his third season coming up. Um, Daniel Jones took the Giants to the playoff last year. Washington got a new quarterback and Sam Howell and I mean, so you look at NFC South. It's Derek Carr and Baker Mayfield and Desmond Ritter for the Falcons and Bryce Young is a rookie quarterback at Carolina. So the disparity between the quarterback play in the conferences is very noticeable. It's a different style of football in the conferences. You don't usually see that much, but you look at the quarterback play in the AFC, then you look at the NFC teams are kind of built different in the NFC than in the AFC. Uh, I see Buck here, but I can't hear him. He's there, but I can't hear him. So, Buck, you still there?
You can't hear me?
All right.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll talk for a little minute.
You
Kind
can't
of.
hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. I can hear you.
Can you hear? Okay, yeah. So okay, yeah. So this yeah in the AFC, what I do, I kind of look at and see who's going to be, for me the offensive, the most valuable player in the NFL. And so if you keep been following that lately, whoever is running in the most valuable player always going to be up there. Their team always going to be up there, to be viable to go to the Super Bowl. And once again, who else but Patrick Mahomes is going to lead the way. I definitely want to see what Joe Burrow's going to do. See how that offensive line got any better, for him. Justin Herbert is going to be key there. But I want to see what the Jets have with Aaron Rodgers. See what Aaron Rodgers really is the guy, because he's going to the Jets teams that got a solid defense, and they got some pretty good running backs that he will have, and some wide receivers. They're surrounding with wide receivers that he's familiar with, and also super guy coming off his rookie season and Wilson, and so and a great coach. He was in San Francisco, so he know how to win. So will they be able to challenge out there the Jets? If to Buffalo, and in the East, I think the only team for AFC East they have to worry about is Buffalo. But my thing is, how well can they compete in the AFC? And I think if Aaron Rodgers come to play and be the type of player that he could be, I think they have a solid team, especially their defense. They got a cornerback that can cut off half of one side of the field, and they got my man that's up front, I think it's Williams, that really put pressure on the quarterback. So that's the team that I'm looking at in the AFC to see possibly dethroning Patrick Mahomes because of Aaron Rodgers and the solid team that they have on defense in the Jets. NFC, like you say, NFC, the quarterbacks, you know, not at the top tier, but you do have three teams that's really, I think Philly, San Francisco, and Dallas. I think you're gonna see that they're gonna play great defense, and don't count the Giants out, man. I love what Dabo did with the Giants there, and he has surrounded Daniel Jones with some weapons and getting Barkley to sign. Uh, I think they will be better, a whole lot better, and that's why I think the NFC East is going to be tough. And I think let's see what the enemy do for that offense. I know they don't have a quarterback that we say, hey, but you got to remember Sam Howell when he was a sophomore. They thought coming back in his junior year they had him in the running for the Heisman. So hey, he can spin the ball. So let's see what could the enemy do anything. So I really like the NFC East. Um, and now you're also going to see what Carr can do. Carr, I don't think he play a top tier quarterback at all um, this year. And so see if he's really the real deal, or did the Raiders do the right thing by getting rid of him. So it's going to be a fun year, I think, in the NFL. Um, so I'm just ready to get started and see what we can do, what the Cowboys really can do this year, because they have the talent um, to really put pressure on a lot of teams. Philly, I know everybody loves Philly, but Philly lost a lot, and over 8 starters, I think. So they lost a lot. So let's see, can Jalen Hurts have another successful year?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. With the Eagles, that was a magical year last year. Everything seemed to kind of fall into place, kind of come together. You get AJ Brown at the beginning of the year. I think the Tennessee Titans are stupid. Uh, and then you add him with Devontae Smith.
And
You add
Cuz
him
you're
with
frozen again. Can you hear
you.
me?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you add AJ Brown with Devontae Smith, Dallas Goddard, uh, Miles Sanders had a career year last year. They do get DeAndre Swift uh, to come over. I lost him again. Yeah, that's kind of rough. Um, like I said, you get DeAndre Swift to come over. Um, they did get Jalen Carter, the D tackle out of Georgia. I mean, just fell into their lap. So even though they lost a couple guys there, they lost Javon Hargrave. We signed him. They picked up Jalen Carter. They get Nolan Smith because they lost Edwards, the fine linebacker. They did bring back the cornerbacks, Bradbury and Darius Slayer, both back. But I want to see the Eagles do it again. Like everybody wants to see Jalen Hurts do it again. He got the money, deservedly. Deservedly so. He did get the money. He's back. So we want to see the Eagles and Jalen Hurts do it again. But I think it's gonna be a bloodbath. That NFC East is really gonna be tough. I agree with you. I think the Giants have did a tremendous job going out and get Darren Waller, the tight end from Oakland. Las Vegas. I said Oakland. Did I say Oakland? I said Oakland. Did I say Oakland? I mean Las Vegas. They drafted Jalen Hyde, the receiver from Tennessee. He's looked great in the preseason. So yeah, I think the NFC it's gonna be competitive. I just think there's those three teams at the top have kind of separated themselves. But as you know, NFL stands for not for long. It doesn't take long for somebody to get good in a hurry, and it don't take long for somebody who was good to get bad in a hurry in the National Football League. So like I said, we're only 8 days away from the NFL season. I want to thank you again for tuning into the program right now. You're watching Sentell's Intel. I'm having some technical difficulties right now. I'm supposed to have 2 guests on right now, but can't seem to get them organized. But I'm here. The sensational Sentell Wiseman, aka Mr. No Days Off, aka the One Man Dynasty. You're watching the undisputed champion of sports podcast, Sentell's Intel, live on YouTube. We're talking NFL right now. Hopefully get some comments and some questions in here throughout this program right now without me having my 2 guests on here. So I'm going to have to do a lot more talking and carrying this program that I initially planned on doing. Yeah, so we're talking about the NFL. Joe Burrow practicing again, got hurt early in the preseason, so he's back on the field. I like the Bengals a lot. I mean, Joe Burrow gives you that confidence in the Bengals that they'll be good. T. Higgins is back. Jamar Chase is there. So this is one of them. Yeah, Joe Mixon. I'm not sure what Joe Mixon's status is going to be. He had some issues in the offseason, some things that went on. I'm not even sure. I haven't followed that closely enough to really know what's going on with that. But, the Bengals, you would think Tyler Boyd in the slot. But, Higgins will be a free agent next year. So this is a year the Bengals might want to get something done. Jamar Chase's contract going to come up. Joe Burrow obviously about to get paid. So that's a window. Even though Joe Burrow tells you his window is open the whole time. His window, he says, is open the whole time he's at quarterback. And I buy some of that. I mean, you're a franchise-type quarterback. But this core right here, this group right here could be breaking up really quickly when all this money start get shelled out. Just kind of similar to Buffalo. I think Buffalo is right now they're at a crossroads. There's talk that Stephon Diggs wants to get out of Buffalo. He feels like the window has closed, and I'm not sure. They've not performed in the big time moments like you expected them to perform. Great regular season the last couple of years. Josh Allen has been fantastic, but the last couple of playoff appearances they have not shown up in any by any means necessary have showed up and competed in those games in the last 2 years of the playoffs. So what do we do with Buffalo? Von Miller will be back. Like I said, you got Stephon Diggs, got Gabriel Davis. Um, they went out and got Dalton Kincaid, tight end, to go along with Dawson Knox. I didn't know they needed another tight end. But we should see what Buffalo does in the AFC. I'm with him with the Jets talk. The Aaron Rodgers, the Jets talk. That Aaron looks rejuvenated with the Jets. I haven't seen this guy. He looks like he's bought in. He looks to be all in with the Jets. Like he's happy. He's getting along with his teammates. Things you never hadn't heard in years. Showing up to mini camps and OTAs and off season. He looks happy. He's smiling a lot. And like Buck mentioned, they roster is stacked. The offensive line, I will take that back. The offensive line is not up to par at the moment. Mekhi Benton, who's been injured for the better part of the last couple of seasons, he's been hurt. They brought in some older veterans to kind of help out. Like I got Buck back again. We're gonna try to get him back in here again. Let's see, can we get him back in? Hopefully we can get him back in here. Hopefully we can get him back in here. But yeah, the Jets got a lot of weapons. Are you there? Are you there? Or am I just seeing your face?
I'm here.
Okay. All right. Let's try this again.
No, I'm here.
Okay. I'm talking about the Jet. Oh, you talked about Jets a little bit, but I'm kind of
didn't like what I say. I was there.
No. You could. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you got going on over here. I don't know if it's my end or your end. I'm not really sure. But I was talking about the Jets before. You had already mentioned them earlier, but I brought it back up. I don't know if you've been paying attention or not, but I'm watching Aaron Rodgers. I'm watching Hard Knocks. And it just seems to me that Aaron looks happy and looks healthy and looks bought in, rejuvenated.
Yeah.
Is that what you're seeing?
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. And then with the coaching staff there, I'm seeing Aaron Rodgers competing again for an MVP and that defense, and then I'm even looking for their head coach to be in the running for Coach of the Year. Um, I really, I know I don't know what I want to say. Is that Hard Knocks? Hard Knocks jinx, but just what they did last year and I mean, you got to think about how crazy their quarterback situation was last year and how good they still was with that crazy quarterback situation. Now you bring in Aaron Rodgers, and if he's the man that everybody say they have been saying that he have been, then he should be able to give that offense scoring power, and I think that defense, because you got Sauce. Sauce gonna, I really believe Sauce would just one side of the field they're not gonna throw to with Sauce on there. I think he's the best cornerback in the league, defensive back. Period. I really do.
Yeah, he's special. He's elite, man. I mean, defensive rookie of the year. He's long. He can run. He got top end speed. He gets his hands on you. He's very technically sound. It's nothing not like about Sauce Gardner.
You're gone again.
You mentioned Quentin Williams up front, and that guy's an absolute terror. He just got a big contract on the offseason, but if you don't double team that guy, it's at your own risk, because I don't think nobody can block him one-on-one. He's an absolute beast. Garrett Wilson, who was the offensive rookie of the year, you bring him back for a second year. I'm with you. The offensive line has some holes in it, and that's gonna be the thing to watch throughout the season with them. Can the O-line hold up?
And that's true, but the running game, you know, they got Dalvin Cook, but they had a great rookie, and I forgot his name, but he got hurt. I had him on
Brees
my
Hall.
fantasy team. Can't believe I forgot his name, but he was really, really playing well coming into his own. Yeah, yeah. He was really coming into his own, and now with Dalvin Cook there, so that running game I think really, really would stand out. So,
Yeah,
so if you talk about who can compete with them in the AFC, of course, I think it will be the Jets. I really do think that Buffalo would be there also. Uh, and who knows, in the AFC North, you have some pretty good quarterbacks, and what will Jackson do when he comes back? He should have some weapons this year. So let's see if he's really that quarterback that can pass the ball and not just run the football. So, but their defense and their secondary, I think is not very strong. So, they still have work to do. But uh, it's going to be competitive in the AFC North, I think, with the three teams. And Pittsburgh looked good in the preseason, you know what I'm saying? But how will their quarterback play? Will their quarterback be able to pick it, be able to uh, beat those other three quarterbacks in their division that's very good?
yeah, the AFC North. Um, I was prepared to say, I was preparing myself to go. It's a 3-team race, and then I watched the preseason, and I'm like, wait a minute, Pickett looks good. George Pickens look good. They they look they were one of those teams in the preseason that look very, very good that makes you change your outlook. Now we get them week 1 in Pittsburgh, so I was already nervous because that's just what you do. You get nervous. You got to go on the road to Pittsburgh. You know what Pittsburgh represents. You know what they gonna do, regardless of what players are out there. That name on that jersey, that color scheme, that represents something. Mike Tomlin, that organization as a whole. A lot of respect for the Steelers organization. So you know what you gonna get when you went up there to start with. Now Kenny Pickett look like a legit quarterback that knows what the hell he's doing. And you got Najee Harris, and you got some guys. You got T.J. Watt back, Micah Fitzpatrick back in that secondary. So watch out for the Steelers. They could be very surprised there. That AFC North we're talking about. I didn't mention Lamar Jackson earlier, but man, yeah, you bring in Odell Beckham, you draft Zay Flowers. I got going on here. Okay, we got him back again. I don't know what's happening. What's happening with him? Oh yeah, I was talking about Pittsburgh. You had left off talking about Pittsburgh, but yeah, I didn't think they would be that good, but yeah, here we are, and they could be a scary, scary football team in this upcoming season. I had a Steelers fan on the schedule to be here on the program who could talk more to this, but I lost him early. I don't know if he's trying to get back in or not, but just a tough day out there right now. I know the weather's kind of lousy, so maybe that's kind of playing with a little bit of the connections that we're having with everybody today. But we got another Fly Eagles, another Fly Eagles fly, another Fly Eagles fly. I got 2 Fly Eagles flyers in my comment section right now. Aaron McCoy says
Yeah.
Fly Eagles fly. So I got another one of those on my screen. Fly Eagles. I got 2 of those. But yeah, I had a Steelers fan who was supposed to be on the program today. That would have kind of helped speak to more about the Steelers, but he's not in the program. So moving along.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson was absolutely. I don't even have the words for how bad Russell Wilson was last year. I don't even have. There's not a word in the dictionary to describe just how bad Russell Wilson was last year. And we talk about a guy who was considered elite for years and then considered elite when he got there. I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback be considered elite, played that badly. Now Sean Payton's out there this year. Do you think Russell is washed, or do you think that Sean Payton can kind of fix some of the issues that he had last year?
Well, let's just be truthful about it. His head coach last year was only a head coach for 1 year. They fired him. So it wasn't Russell Wilson, or was it the head coach? Did they give him the job too soon, and did he deserve it? You know what I'm saying? They didn't hire Sean Payton and fire him. They fired him and hired Sean Payton. So and Sean Payton said it was horrible. Yeah, but Russell, is he washed? I don't know. he's on a Denver's team that is I think it's basically in transition. So and and look what he has. He's in the AFC West, so he's got to go against Kansas City. He's got to play the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? Now the Raiders. I don't know. The Raiders have Jimmy G. But Sean Payton, coaching wise, he's you know maybe the second best coach um, in that division right now. So yes, maybe he could get over the hump. Was it really Russell Wilson coaching? And then we'll find out this year because he can't fall back and say, "Hey, it's the coaching." So yeah, but I
Yeah,
think Sean Payton, with what he did uh, with in New Orleans with Drew Brees at Drew Brees' size, and so it's kind of I think he probably got the same type of player in Russell Wilson, and I think he'll run that offense um, to Russell Wilson's strengths.
yeah. It's an interesting dynamic with Russell and Sean Payton. Those like they got two different personalities. The style that Sean Payton wants to do things, the way he wants to do things. I don't know stylistically are they gonna get along on that part of it. The thing that Russell does really well, the thing that Russell does really well is off strip stuff. Like that's what he does. Off strip. Like he gets off outside of the pocket, he runs around, he improvises, and makes a play. Sean Payton's
Not
offense
again.
is predicated on timing and precision. So I'm wondering how that works with Russell's style. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But like you say, if Russell has another bad season, it's over. Like it would be fully over. That we understand that Russell Wilson would have been exposed as a guy who got carried to one championship. It should have been two, and he was just along for the ride because that's what it's gonna look like if he fails again this year. Because it was clear that Seattle knew something was up because they were willing to go with Geno Smith instead of Russell Wilson. They were willing to go into the season with Geno Smith at quarterback instead of Russell Wilson. So that tells me a whole lot. What about you?
Yeah, but with Seattle, if you look at Seattle's teams, Seattle was turning that team over to get to where they're at right now because I think they saw in the NFC West, hey, the only team that we really have to compete with is the 49ers. So let's turn this team over and get a lot of young players. If you look at that team that they had with Geno, uh, they improved on defense a little bit, but they also improved in the running game. I mean, they had a really good running game and really good offensive line. Uh, but now then they put young receivers around Geno, and Geno should still strive. But I think they had to do that to get rid of some of that money with Russell Wilson because what are they paying Geno? Geno been sitting around as a bench player for how many years? And so from a standpoint where from the Seattle, did they know something was wrong with Russell, or did they just saw Russell was getting up there in age, and their team was getting up there in age, and they wanted to get rid of some of that money so they could churn and get some draft picks, which was smart. And Geno's been around.
That's excellent points, by the way. Excellent points. That leads me into Seattle. Let's Seattle, man. We mentioned the Cowboys, Eagles, and 49ers. We're gonna talk about them at nauseum. But those are those other teams, the Giants, the Seahawks, whoever wins the NFC South, those other teams, we focus on Seattle, man. I like what they did. They done in the offseason by picking up the receiver from Ohio State, Jackson Smith and Jigba. The cornerback they picked up, I think he's going to help them tremendously. They are young. They are a young football team. And Geno played really well last year to the point where he got an extension. He got an extension this past season. How great he played. So Interesting to see year two of Geno Smith with this team. Like I said, they got weapons. You know about DJ Metcalf. You know about Tyler Lockett. And like I said, they brought in JSN, uh, who you
Yeah,
know is one of the better who's one of the best better college receivers to come out in the draft in a long time. And we've seen this Ohio State receiving
yeah,
tree right
yeah,
now. We saw Garrett Wilson last year. We saw Chris Olave. He's on the same team with them guys. So here he
yeah,
comes. So I think Seattle
yeah.
could be a dangerous team. So I was talking about the others. You know, we kind of separate the 49ers, Eagles, and Cowboys, the three best teams in the NFC. But who are those others? Who are those others that could jump up and take this conference?
New Orleans is in the prime position to me because in the NFC South, like you said, Derek Carr, and Derek Carr is getting paid like a top quarterback, and when he was with the Raiders, he's a top quarterback. And if you look at the quarterbacks in the NFC South, you know what I'm saying? Probably the second best quarterback is probably Bryce Young. You know what I'm saying? But Derek Carr. But you look at their schedule. If you go look at New Orleans' schedule, I don't think he played any top quarterback at all, and that would be better than him. You know, because he plays Bryce Young twice. He plays Rita twice, and then he played maybe Baker Mayfield twice. Baker may start the first time he play against him and might not. That's how inconsistent Baker Mayfield is. So just against those teams, and that he should be better than. And I think they play in the who do they play at in the out of the AFC? Yeah, I think they play out of the AFC South. I think I'm not for sure, but he should have the advantage at the quarterback position. So, and then with them, like you say, getting Michael Thomas back, and some of the receiving core that they do have, I think New Orleans should win their division easily, and that could be 9 games, but I think they should be able to win their division and compete.
He got the Saints. That man say, "Who that nation is that surprise team that's gonna surprise the
And
NFC?"
I hate to say it, but the Giants to me is going to be a scary team
Scary, very
from
scary.
what they did from an offensive standpoint. If you look and see what they have on their offense.
Yeah, I'm with you with the Giants. I mentioned them earlier. Darren Waller, Jalen Hyatt added to that offense. Saquon Barkley's back. Daniel Jones looks like he turned somewhat of a corner last year. Can he build off of that going into this season? Brian Dayball looks like to be a tremendous head coach. Let's get some comments in here. I got comments. Rail Walker says college football question mark. We'll be back tomorrow for that. Because it's a big game tomorrow night in college football. I don't know if you heard about it. There's a big game tomorrow, so we're going to talk a lot of college football tomorrow on this program. Aaron McCoy says Detroit Lions. Detroit it gets so much of that I didn't even want to put them in that sleeping team category of the NFC because everybody's on the Lions right now. Everybody's on the Lions. Lions have a lot of momentum going right now. A lot of really good young players. Armin St. Brown. I'm missing guys. So many receivers I'm missing out of their team, but they're good. They drafted Jameer Gibbs in this draft class. Jared Goff was absolutely spectacular last year. Was tremendous. So yeah, a lot of folks are on the line. Aiden Hutchinson in that defense kind of came on late. They struggled early, but he came on late. That defense got a lot better as the season went along. So yeah, a lot of folks on the Detroit Lions. Mo D says the Falcons are winning the NFC South. Rise up. That's Desmond Ritter. A lot of weapons. Drake London, Kyle Pitts. Offensively, they drafted B. John Robinson. But the defense has got to be a lot better. They added a lot of pieces on the defense side of the ball. Love AJ Terrell.
Uh,
Fantastic player. You know about Grady Jarrett, but can they get pass rush? Can they get a consistent pass rush? Can the linebacker play step up for the Falcons? Is going to be the question for them. But that NFC South is wide open. I don't trust Baker Mayfield at all. Carolina
uh,
started a rookie quarterback. I love Bryce Young. but I saw that offensive line, and that ain't it. That ain't it. So it's gonna be the Falcons and Saints.
Yeah.
And so that
That's
ain't
not
it.
it.
So, so that ain't
And,
it.
and
Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, and Atlanta will be able to run the football. Yeah, Atlanta will be able to run the football. I'm looking for Bijan Robinson to probably be the rookie of the year, but that's the only thing they'll be able to do. I don't think they'll be able to pass the football consistently to win the South. Like I say, it's there for New Orleans, and with what you have when something is wide open, I go with the quarterback, and I
Yes.
think Derek Carr's the best quarterback there, unless Bryce Young really surprised everything. But I just think Carolina offensive line uh, will eventually. I hate to say it, but you know he took some shots in preseason, and those wasn't and those shots that he was taking wasn't from the starting defensive linemen that was rushing. Those some of the guys now that's on practice squad are looking to join the USFL. So
See,
you know,
see,
so
and I'm glad,
yeah,
and I'm glad you brought that
Atlanta.
up.
You know,
That wouldn't,
let's see what
that
Vita
wasn't the
can do.
starting D line. That
Cal
wasn't the
Pitts,
starting D line.
I'm still out there on a limb on him. I thought, I was wanting him to definitely come to the Cowboys, but he's still out there on a limb for me. He's been there now, what, 2 or 3 years, and I haven't been impressed with him yet.
I mean, when you're talking about receivers and tight ends, they're dependent positions. Do you think Kyle Pitts wouldn't have to be putting up numbers with the Cowboy offense? I don't believe that to be the case. I just think you look what they had. I mean, they had Matt Ryan, who was what was left of Matt Ryan, and then last year you had Marcus Mariota, who's never been known as a thrower of the football, and now you Desmond Ritter. Uh, we don't know. We really don't know about Desmond Ritter right now. He was great at college, did some great things in Cincinnati, but we really truly don't know. But if Arthur Smith, the offensive guru that he's supposedly has led everybody to believe that he is, this is his time to shine. You find a way to get Kyle Pitts the ball. You find a way to get Drake London the ball. You find ways to make Bijan Robinson um, be utilized in this offense the way he should be utilized. So this is about Arthur Smith as well. I mean, all these guys these companies, offensive coordinators who work up on these other guys who do all the offensive work, get these jobs, and they're not earning their money when their teams don't play well offensively, but they have an offensive background. So sometimes it comes out of that. They need to do their job. Like Brian Daboll, that's what he was known for, offensive football. He went to Buffalo, did a tremendous job with Josh Allen. Before that, I think it was at Alabama. But he went to New York. He didn't have Josh Allen. But he took Daniel Jones and made him the best version of himself so far that we've seen of Daniel Jones. So that's coaching. That's Brian Daboll doing his thing. And then Daniel Jones didn't have he didn't have household names at receivers last year. He didn't, but they made the playoffs. So sometimes it's about the coaching as well. So I don't think it's Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts did not all of a sudden forget how to play football. I just think you look at the quarterbacks that he had, and you go, okay, who's going to get the ball to him? Dan Wilson, the NFC South trash. I mean, it's not good. On paper, it's not good. And you got Bryce, Baker, Derek Carr, and Desmond Ritter. So, yes, on paper, the NFC South does not look good at all. It does not. But that's why these things are the way they are. I think Buck's in it. In the guest room. Let me see, can I get him back out here? Sorry, you back?
Yeah,
Are you there? Are you there?
That's the South, isn't that good?
Say what now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, we just,
Can you
we
hear me?
kind of,
Oh,
yeah, we're just kind of going on. We're going through these teams. There's just things that just randomly pop up. The NFC comments. I'm reading your comments as well. So just want to hear what you guys have to think about the NFL. We're not getting no predictions today. I got another show for that probably before I have to give a prediction for the season. So I'm just not giving a prediction. I'm just talking about teams randomly. Just covering the NFL. Like I say, got got college football really starting tomorrow. I had some games this past weekend, but it really starts tomorrow and a full slate of games Saturday. But want to touch on the NFL. Got 8 days before kickoff, before the Detroit Lions take on the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead, which should be a fun matchup. You know, we failed to mention something about the Chiefs before going any further. Chris Jones is not signed yet, so he's not at camp. He's not with the team right now. He is not. So he is a la Nick Bosa right now. Neither one of those guys are with their team right now, expecting big extensions. So we forget. I failed to mention about that. That if he does not. Now we talk about Tyreek Hill leaving and Pat Mahomes overcoming that. But if Chris Jones is not on that team defensively, buddy, Pat Mahomes got to score 35, 40 points a game. I ain't saying capable of it. But the Chris Jones loss will hurt a lot more to me than the Tyreek Hill loss.
Yeah, and Frank Clark left too. So he was a key pass rusher on that team also. And I think they lost both of their 2 starting offensive linemen. So yeah. So, but it is Patrick Mahomes. It is Andy Reid. So we're gonna see. And then everybody, hey, if they don't do good offensively, like I said, they lost 2 of the offensive linemen, and so if they don't do good offensively, then it might be hollering at the enemy with him back. But yes, so let's see. Kansas City. I think they'll get Chris Jones back. So yeah.
Man, look, man, I started this program talking about John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan. They dropped the ball on the Trey Lance thing. Now, they really dropped the ball on Trey Lance shit. If they don't sign Nick Bosa, if they don't get Nick Bosa signed in short order, God help us all. I mean, what are we doing right now? What are we doing? You knew going through the offseason that Nick Bosa was going to ask for a ridiculous contract. You knew this. You had to know. You had to know this going through the offseason. So they I love John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan. They built a great roster. The roster is outstanding. But not to have this should have been resolved a long time ago. We are 8 days away, and our best defensive player is not even with the team right now.
That's true. That's most definitely true. But don't Nick Bosa get dinged up a lot? So maybe maybe the language in the contract is not where he wanted to be. I mean, is it the money or is it the language in the contract? So that's what I don't know.
I'm thinking it's guaranteed money because
2 years in a row he been hurt, right?
No, Nick was the defensive player of the year last year. Nick was the defensive player of the year last year. He missed his second year. He tore his ACL, missed the whole rest of the season. He played his first year. He missed the second year. And then last year, he was the defensive player of the year. I mean, he was everything that was advertised to Nick Bosa. He got it done last year. And I don't understand what the Niners are doing because I know how we play business, what we do. But this is a top-of-the-market player at a position that is one of the highest paid positions in the league. So these guys, they are.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
And also on that defensive line though, you got 4. Do you have 3 to 4 number 1 first round picks on that defensive line?
If you take Bosa out of there, then you only got 2 right now. But you got one of those guys ain't hitting no shit. Yeah. And I'm gonna just say it like that.
That contract is still there. That contract is still there. So yeah.
Let me tell you something about the other Buck. I want to say something to him because
it's a money guy. But hey,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Say what now?
Go ahead.
What did the other Buck say?
Yeah, because the other Buck sent me that damn trash truck juice. And if y'all know who I'm talking about, We drafted a damn D tackle. We drafted a D tackle right after we lost DeForest Buckner from South Carolina, who was supposed to replace DeForest Buckner. He was so bad that we had to turn around and gave the money that we should have gave DeForest Buckner. This guy was so bad we had to turn around and give it to Javon Hargrave this past season. That's how bad he's been.
Yep.
So yeah, he's a former number one overall, a number one draft pick, but he has not done a damn thing, and I don't even think he's in the starting rotation right now. So yeah, we just got to get these guys in camp. I don't like this going this long. It was fine the first couple weeks of training camp, but now we about to start playing football games, and quite frankly, he shouldn't be playing the first 2 games now. Even if you sign him today, the first 2 games should be off limits.
If he get that money, he's gonna play.
I'm saying he shouldn't play. I ain't saying he ain't gonna play. He shouldn't play because you haven't practiced. You know what I know. It's different when you get banged on. You get
banged up. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you just can't walk out of your living room and just start tackling people
Yeah, but most he haven't. If he haven't been in practice because preseason they don't play anyway. So he's just been missing practices because preseason they don't play. I think football is a little bit different now because they really in practice they don't have a lot of contact, and then I think that's why you're seeing a lot of injuries because we had 2 promising. I mean, I had 2 rookies. Stevens Jr. and Overshawn, and they've been looking good in camp for the Cowboys. They've been looking great in preseason and against Seattle. They both tear their ACL, and they were going to do some great things, I think, as rookies this year for us.
Yeah, non-contact injuries are the worst.
They're not playing anyway in preseason.
But they're doing the joint practice. They're doing the joint practices now, though. They're doing the joint practices.
Should be able to come on out there and play.
Yeah, no. I don't. First of all, we know he's gonna break the bank with the contract he's about to get. So let's press his assets. So yeah, let's put Bo Wrap around him for the first couple weeks anyway. Because that money he's gonna get, I don't want him out the first week. No, he don't need to be out there. Oh, hey, you want to think about it? Tuning in, you watching Sentell's Intel. We're gonna be here for just a few minutes. I'm gonna give Buck Thomas the last couple words. I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to see you guys tomorrow, and we will talk college football because we are very well aware that college football begins in earnest tomorrow. We are very aware that the college football season starts this weekend. We are very aware that it's the opening weekend of college football. I had no clue. But yes, I want to get some NFL action in the conversation in here today. That's what I want to do. So tomorrow, we will talk college football. But Buck Thomas, I'll give you the final word before we get out of here. The floor is yours.
Okay, yes. So thanks for having me. And then, like I say, it's going to be a great NFL season. Like I said, I'm looking for, the players who's going to compete. The player of the year, the rookie of the year. The comeback player of the year. It's going to be very interesting because we have a lot of guys. Even Damar Hamlin. Let's send a shout out to him. He's back on the field. Will he come back and be player of the year? Calvin Ridley. That's who I really want to see, and that's who Atlanta should have kept, regardless. Then Pitts may be doing a little bit better. But I want to see what Calvin Ridley does. In Jacksonville because he may get player of the year. We even got Lamar Jackson that would be up there for but comeback player of the year. So that's what I'm looking for. A lot of those guys, even Odell Beckham, still be who he should be with the Ravens and the rookies. I think we have a lot of great rookies out there. From skill position. Bijan Robinson. He looked great with Atlanta in the preseason, catching the ball and running the football. He just looked different as a running back, even though after 3 years he's not gonna get paid any money. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one thing I want to stop devaluing the running backs in the NFL. you lean so much on the running backs that it's time for you to pay them. Then you devalue them and you hold on to them. You don't want to trade them and send them to other teams. You want to pay them the value that they are. And I think it's very, very disrespectful to running backs. If I had a son, I said, son, don't play running back, play wide receiver. Grow up big enough to play a defensive end. But yes, so that's what I got to say. Stop devaluing the running backs. And I'm just gonna send a shout out. I know I sent out. Um, I'm not playing fantasy this year. I found me something else that I think I love a little bit better, called the Survival Series. So I have a Buck Wild NFL Survivor. So you get to choose one team through the week, and you get 3 lives, and see can you stand? See, can you be the one surviving at the end of the year? So hey, hit me up on my messenger if you want to join my league.
All right, appreciate you, cuz.
And
Thank
thanks
you.
for having me, cuz. Sorry
We
about
will
the. Next
talk.
time I come to your house and we'll do it instead of being live.
I like that idea. I like that. It's been a long time since we did that, but I appreciate your time, and we'll talk during the season, brother. Peace. Yeah, that was Buck Thomas joining us to talk some NFL. Hey, man, look, hey, we know it's college football coming up. We understand what's happening. We get it. We know what's about to pop off here soon. So we're gonna come back tomorrow at a special start time, 6:30, because I have something to do at 8 o'clock. So tomorrow we're gonna start the show at 6:30. We're gonna talk some college football. I had some playoff picks last time. This time I'll make the playoff picks, make some predictions about this week's games, and we'll pick my college football playoff champion. So how about that? We'll see you guys tomorrow. I want to thank all y'all for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. Please do so right now and subscribe to the channel. This has been Sentell's Intel, the undisputed champion of sports podcast, the best damn sports podcast, period. I have been your host, the sensational Sentell Wideman, aka Mr. No Days Off, aka the One Man Dynasty. We will see you tomorrow. We will talk college football. We're less than 24 hours away from the Gators and the Utes from Salt Lake City. I cannot wait. Till the next time, I'm out. Peace.